Let me emphasize that much as there was no cause for, say, hoarding toilet paper at the beginning of the pandemic, there should be no cause for hoarding gasoline, especially in light of the fact that the pipeline should be substantially operational by the end of this week and over the weekend.
The Energy Secretary there downplaying the Colonial Pipeline shutdown as nothing to panic over, even as Americans are seeing gas pumps run dry. Power panel now, Jason Chaffetz, Fox News contributor and former Utah congressman. Kevin Walling, former Biden campaign surrogate. Kevin and Jason, great to see you. Jason, I'll start with you. And just your first impressions of the panic buying that's going on among Americans as they say they're witnessing those gas pumps run dry.
Well, they didn't foreshadow and let people know that, hey, this is going to be temporary in its nature. And let's blame the people who actually made the attack, make them responsible for it. But at the same time, Biden administration, you can't lie and mislead the American people. You go ahead and tell those millions of people down in the Southeast that, hey, there's no problem here. These people are waiting in line for hours. I mean, look at those pictures out there. You can't mislead them. And I think the Biden administration is being misleading, if not outright lying to people, that this is a problem.
You know, Kevin, having the Energy Secretary Granholm say technically what Jason just said, just a pat on the head and everything's going to be fine, when you know that your personal experience feels quite different, why not just acknowledge it? Why not have a bigger conversation with the American people about this?
Yeah, Harris, it's a good question, and I think you'll see more of that coming out of the Biden administration. Hopefully, you saw the Energy Secretary trying to downplay this a little bit just to keep folks calm and not hoarding. Well, just from the White House podium, you don't want to be an Energy Secretary panicking the American people. And I think to Jason's point, and it's a good one, we got to focus his attention on the attack from overseas that caused this shortage.
Hold on a second. Yes, the attack that caused the shortage. The Russian cyber gang and its ransomware manipulation, yes, you can, but can't you do both? It's the White House of the biggest government in the world.
Harris,
they should be able to do more than one thing.
Absolutely. And you've seen an administration spring into action starting Friday night to relax EPA rules, to work with our partners overseas to increase tankers to the East Coast, for example, to the Transportation Secretary, changing the rules with regards to overtime for truckers to get more gas to these areas. So you have an administration that's pulling out all the stops to try and assess the situation and respond. But again, there's a reality on the ground, and those cars are in line. Massive amounts of cars trying to get this gasoline.
With all due respect, I don't think the words spring into action, spring into anybody's mind when they're talking about this current administration. Look at the border crisis. Jason, your last quick thought, we'll move on to the next.
One of the first things the Biden administration did was shut down the Keystone Pipeline. Maybe if we had other pipelines and we had a goal to be energy independent, we wouldn't run into these problems. But there is a consequence to cutting off our supply and just having to rely on this one pipeline.
All right. The Biden administration just yesterday doubled down on claims the southern border, speaking of which, is closed. We've been showing you for days this week, the border is not closed. But our cameras telling that very different story so you could see yourself. Live images now. These are live. Dozens of migrants, again, crossing illegally into Texas right now. Going across, this is Del Rio, Texas, the Rio Grande. But new data show overall migrant encounters at a 20-year high, with encounters up 900% this year over last year since last April. Even as encounters with unaccompanied minors fell by 12%. Jason, I come to you.
178,000 encounters. Those are just the people that they run into. Again, the Biden-Harris administration is not telling the American people the truth. Vice President Harris should be at that border and should be meeting and seeing it for herself. It's inexcusable.
Well, the Senate officially went down there for the first time with Senator Bill Hagerty, and he joined us exclusively yesterday. And he gave us so much information that you really need to be there for. And he met with the leaders of Guatemala and Mexico. Come on, Vice President. Last word from Kevin.
Yeah, Harris, I'm hopeful. You know, you saw the 4 leaders in the White House Oval Office today. Hopefully immigration reform is part of that, because we need Congress to take action on comprehensive immigration reform. We need a surge of resources to the border, and hopefully we'll see that come out of this meeting today.
Kevin Walling, we need to get you to the White House right now, because the president made it very clear after he read the names of the people that he's known for decades sitting on sofas near him. He then said he's only talking about infrastructure, today. He said it more than once. But you're right. There could be a lot of other things on that list, and you could tell them.
Amen, Harris.
Jason,
I'm ready
Kevin,
to go.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, I know you are. Get there.